Hello, lads, ladies, gents, ladettes, whoever, whatever. Welcome back to another video. Today, I am interviewing Glinty. I was about to say Revamp Glint. I just had a conversation before we started this where I knew I had to pull myself up, but I can't help it. It's been years. I have known this man a long time. He is one of my favorite creators. He has one of the best work ethics I have ever seen when it comes to content creation and just life in general, in which I want him to share his stories about what keeps him motivated, what gets him going. However, what I want to do is let him introduce himself. So, Glint, who are you? What do you do when it comes to content? And, where can people find you?
Hello, hello. What it do? What it do? I am Glinty. I do go by Glinty, but as he just said, Glint. First name's Eric. So if you're comfortable with Eric, you can call me that as well. You can find me at twitch.tv/GlintyTV. And yeah, I'm all about content. I'm diving into YouTube again.
Mm-hmm.
I started off with PUBG, and that game, the battle royale scene kind of took over for a couple years. I was addicted to that style of winning where you're the last man on top. Once you get one win, you're in it, and it's a
Mm.
lot that can like keep you immersed. And then I switched to Rocket League. I've been trying to perfect that. But now I'm in the gym. I'm working on that. I'm working on switching to vegan. It's just a lot of lifestyle changes that have become my 2022. And he's absolutely right. We're working every single day. We're
Mm.
working.
I've never seen someone that I consider a small content creator for now, because I mean, I think you're honestly one of those guys that I know is going to make it. There's a handful of people that I've met over all the years of me doing this shit, where I have all the faith in the world that they're going to get to that top kind of level, and
Yeah.
you're one of the few with that mindset to do it. So definitely something that's coming along really, really well. But I just want to point out the good old PUBG days, because I remember that's when I met you,
Yeah.
through that Facebook group that I can't remember the name of. But
Uh,
I
Me
remember
either.
you had the worst trouble with your green screening back then, when you used
Yep.
to run that green screen, and we sat there for a good like 20, 30 minutes fixing it, and then we finally got it to go, and like 2 weeks later it stuffed up and we couldn't fix it again.
Idiots.
Yeah. It
Idiots.
was good times. It was good times. So,
Very good point.
one of my favorite questions to ask that I'm going to start with, beyond the just who are you questions, but what inspired you to make content in the first place?
Toxicity actually inspired me. Um, I was a toxic person. I was a toxic person, and I had to make some life changes. And I hit rock bottom.
Mm,
And through hitting rock bottom and getting help to build myself back up, I was like, you know what? Let's share this love of life with everybody else.
mm.
Like you just mentioned, you were there during the PUBG phase, and might I add, someone that I could count on to answer questions that I had about content creating because I didn't know what I was doing. And honestly, I still don't. I still don't. I still
Most
fly by the
people,
seat of my pants.
most people don't, to be honest. Like, I've known a
Right.
lot of people for a long time, and this is a thing. People think, oh, I need to either learn this or have a ridiculous support network. Find one or two people that know what they're talking about, and you'll be fine. Most people who know the ins and outs of OBS, of editing, just like basics and stuff like that, or like photo
Yeah.
editing, or tags and things like that. I'm not great with all of that stuff, but for OBS, for example, I started streaming when Twitch just became Twitch, so I've been around on the website for a long time, and I had to learn OBS the hard way before we had all the video guides in the world for how to do everything. So I've become quite comfortable with the program. There's still things that I learned myself today, like not long ago, I finally figured out how to do instant replays properly, instead of just trying to like make a certain video file play after recording it while doing
Right.
things. So it's a lot of fun once you set all that sort of shit up. But yeah, as you said, it's something where it's good to have that little bit of a support network. Now,
Definitely.
another question I like to ask is, when it comes to your content, do you have, as you said, you started kind of from a more toxic position, turning into a more wholesome overall stream. You still have your toxic Tuesdays, which are always good fun.
Yeah.
Um, but Do you find that you love the content creation, or do you have a bit of a bittersweet feeling towards it?
I love it. I love it. Being and the cool thing is, I feel like that toxicity that came from me at a standpoint of life, to
Mm,
be able to switch it around is different because that was just something personal that I had to do, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
But to bring that different and new person, who I groomed and I became in a short matter of time to the content world, it was just everything. So I can definitely say I love it.
mm.
But it is also bittersweet because we like again we talked about PUBG. Bibelist introduced me to PUBG. I had no idea what it was. He was like,
Mm,
I was one of those Call of Duty guys, and he
yeah,
was just like, you should try PUBG. It's this new game about battle royale. I'm like, all right, I'll try. And it was weird because everything he suggested, I was like, all right, I'll try it. So I tried it on mobile. I was getting some wins there, and then he was like, it's a game, and I was like, what? So I got an Xbox for my birthday and started grinding that and started getting wins on that. And he was like, well, you're getting wins. You should stream. I'm like, what's that? Told me what streaming was, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And it was
yeah,
just weird how like he just kept throwing this information my way, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Okay. And so maybe about a month into PUBG, I freaking started going live on Xbox,
mm,
because I didn't have a computer. I was actually producing music, took my laptop that I was producing music with and turned
mm.
it into my gaming laptop, which was absolutely trash. It wasn't the right type of computer I needed. Lack of information there, and we just kept going. So, it is bittersweet now to see like to meet all these different people or to see
Mm,
all these different people that I have a connection with, and it's bittersweet that like I'm still around. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm.
you're a testament to that because I used to stream all the time.
Yeah,
Now it's not as much as I used to. I don't have to stream every day like I used to. I
mm,
don't have to stream for long periods of time. I just go live when I feel like it. And that's bittersweet. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like to have that knowledge base and experience to know like maybe we could take a break. Maybe we could try some other platform.
Yeah, 100%. It's a big problem a lot of newer creators have is thinking you have to be streaming every single day, every single hour that you can in order to grow. Now, unfortunately, with how congested Twitch is, that is true to some extent. You do have to have some form of schedule. However, in saying that, as I said in the first episode of these interviews, um, like you've really got to be able to kind of do what you want to do. Do not force content for the sake of forcing content, right?
Fact.
And one thing I want to use, actually, it was a stream I think you did like 2 days ago. I don't know if it was 2 days ago. I slept like literally an entire day away, and I have no fucking
Yeah.
clue what day it is. I saw that
Yeah.
I saw my calendar. It's like, oh, it's Saturday. I'm like, wait, what? I
Right. I
had
know. I
no
feel it. I
freaking clue what
feel
was
it.
going on. But in saying that, right, you had someone come in because every now and then you do your viewer games when you're playing Rocket League, and you know a big problem, and this is something a lot of smaller streamers have as well, is someone comes in, they go, oh, I want to play too. You feel that you have to let them play, right?
Right.
And it's a big issue that small creators have, where they're like, okay, well, I have to let this person play, and you know nothing about them, you know that you haven't
Right.
built up that friendship and something like that. Like if I, even though I don't really play Rocket League, because if I try, I just get mad because I suck that bad at it. I played it like once on the Switch like 3 months ago, and that's about it for like years.
Yeah.
But if I was like, hey, Clint, I really want to learn how to play this, can you like take me through like one round? I know you're down for that because we've built up that friendship over many, many years. Whereas
100%.
someone who's just come in, you haven't earned that. They haven't earned that trust, because there are people,
Right.
unfortunately, out there that do cause a lot of trouble. Now, obviously, being a person of color yourself, you've probably dealt with a lot of friggin' bullshit, especially online. Um, how do you feel that whole kind of issue that Twitch was having not that long ago has gone? Has it started to get better, or have you noticed it's still about the same?
So I dealt with it earlier. I had a hate raid early on.
Mm,
And one of the things that I kind of thought about when I started my journey was it's the internet. So
mm,
you're absolutely right. It's definitely BS, 100%, and no one likes to go through it. But it's almost like it's going to happen because
mm,
it's the internet. People find comfortability in hiding behind a username, hiding behind social media and stuff like that.
mm,
So um I feel like I've matured enough to just be able to like brush it off and let it be what it's going to be. It sucks that Twitch doesn't it doesn't seem like Twitch takes it seriously.
mm,
There has been a lot of black creators that have gone through multiple hate raids, and
mm,
Twitch, it doesn't seem like Twitch cares.
mm,
Doesn't. Um it does suck. It makes you feel like it singles you out. One, like obviously I know I'm black, I know I'm a person of color, and
mm,
I live it every day. But to be on a platform where I try to express who I am, what I'm bringing to the table,
mm,
and to feel like the the platform doesn't care about that, it hurts.
mm,
It hurts. So it's the internet. It's the
mm,
internet. You build up that tolerance um wherever you go, and even the N word at this point in my life, it does nothing to me
mm,
because I'm not going to fuel anyone's fire to be disrespectful, to cause hatred, to spread hatred. I'm gonna just ignore it. My mods are amazing. They take care of all of it. I barely talk about it. It happens. They'll get rid of it, and we
mm,
move on to the next game, on to the next conversation because you shouldn't put energy into that type of stuff. So that's what
mm.
I have gotten better with. Now, 17-year-old me, I'd have been crying and tears and stuff like that. But to have fully, not fully, but to have
Mm,
matured some bit, I don't take it seriously
mm,
because it's Twitter fingers, it's internet. They're not going to tell me who they really are. They would never, if they were face to face to me. They're not
mm,
going to do this. They're hiding behind a screen name. They're hiding behind a screen. That's what they do.
mm. And the other reason I wanted to ask that is because obviously I am whiter than mayonnaise, so I wanted to
That was
get,
a great question, by the way.
no,
That was a great
I
question.
do want to get like as many voices out there, right? Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, we can't talk about politics, things like that. We don't need to talk politics. What we need to talk is basic human decency, and it's something that is definitely missing a lot in the online space. So
Definitely.
if you're a smaller creator suffering from this shit, don't be afraid to put your foot down, stand your ground, right? You do not have to put up with this crap, right? Whether
100%.
whether you're a person of color, whether you're trans, gay, bisexual, whatever, you know, like again, I'm not. Look, I'll be honest for myself. I don't fully understand the whole pronouns thing. I don't get it, but I respect it, right? If someone comes to me, hey, these are my pronouns, I'll do my damnedest to respect that. However, I may slip up, but I always let people know, hey, if I slip up, call me out on it. It's going to be an honest mistake, not something I want to do deliberately. But everyone should have a right to feel safe and secure. And as I said, I want to get as many voices to share their experiences. And the unfortunate thing is, every person I know that I'm good friends with that is a person of color on Twitch has suffered this bullshit. And
Right.
that's why I thought, I know you're probably one of the bigger creators that I have lined up at the moment. So that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to get you to speak on it as soon as possible, just to kind of
Oh
get
no, that
it,
was a great.
just to get it out the way.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to actually bring up to kind of go along in a way with that, just to promote your Discord a little bit, is the name of your Discord used to be, I'm not sure if it still is, the Safe Haven, if I recall. So,
Yes.
what inspired you to name it that?
Um. So yeah. So it is still called a safe haven. And to be honest, I doubt it'll ever change. But when I came to the creator side of content, there was just a place where people didn't feel safe. They didn't feel welcome. They
Mm,
didn't want to be themselves. So I wanted to create a place where people can be themselves. People can just do what they want to do,
mm,
but like you just said, in a respectful manner, because you're absolutely right. You know, we don't have to talk about politics, but we can talk about politics with the respect of who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Talk about anything. I show you the respect that you deserve as a person. We can have any conversation. That's what I truly believe. So I wanted a space where people could do that. Anything, religion, politics, food, anything. So
I can't
that's
talk about food.
why.
I'm too fucking fat.
You know, we
I need to
talk
get back to
about
the gym myself.
does ketchup belong in the refrigerator? That's a question that comes
Nah,
up a lot
not in
around.
this damn country. It don't. And anyone who says otherwise, I'll punch them in the throat.
Let's go. See?
Okay,
So-
I haven't told you this story about Australia, right? Just a quick tangent.
Okay.
So there is a debate in this country now. Americans, you call a chicken parmesan a parm.
Okay.
You say that here, regardless of what side you are on in the argument in Australia, you'll get fucking smacked. It is
Wow.
either a parmy or a parma. Now, 99% of the country, and I've had this argument with my friend, and I'm deliberately bringing this up just to shit on him when he watches this, because 99% of this country calls it parmy. My city calls it parmy. Every other freaking place I know is parmy. But Melbourne, you cunts keep calling it Parma. So fuck you. That's not what it's called. Sorry. So just, you know, if you ever hear, don't call it that around me or I'll smack you. Don't care how strong you
just for clarity, we're calling it a parmy.
Yeah, parmy, because it's chicken parmigiana. There is an I there.
Okay.
So we shorten it to the I. They say A, but there's an I before the A.
Okay.
So
it's a parmy.
Yeah. So also, if I talk in like Australian colloquialisms and you're like, what the fuck is he on about? Again, just go, oi, dickhead. And I will rephrase it in proper English because we have a very bad habit of basically being as lazy as possible in speech and shortening everything. But anyway, to get back on track. So
sounds good. I'm with it.
To kind of go in a weird way to kind of relate to the whole idea of, you know, creating a, I hate the term safe space because, you know, it's got been used so negatively, but in terms of a constructive safe place, I'd like to put it, you know, a place where people feel comfortable. When it comes to comfortable with content creation of any kind, what would you say you feel most comfortable doing?
I feel most comfortable. Well, 99% of the time, I feel most comfortable playing Rocket League. Let's get that out there. Let's get out there. But it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. That's a great question. Jesus, that's a great question. So, and what's awesome about Karlec is that he knows streaming and being able to help me along the way and help others along the way. It didn't start out that way for me. When I first started playing PUBG or Rocket League, anytime chat became overwhelming because I was just starting out, I would change to just chatting. So I built up my mental in streaming to be able to, and it just takes time. I can play Rocket League and press all the buttons I need to press, but I can still keep up with chat. I can still see how people are doing. So I feel most comfortable playing Rocket League, but I can definitely sit back, not play, and just chat all day. That's a bread and butter of Twitch. If you are looking to, you know, for some growth, people love to just come in and have conversation. But yeah, I feel most comfortable playing Rocket League, and it allows me to do what I love doing, get better, and chat with people that come through.
She's decided it's cuddle time.
It is.
Usually we're in bed about this time, so she's like, what the fuck's going on, dickhead? I want to go to sleep. So she'll probably like walk all over my keyboard. So if there's a lot of noise in this video, I apologize. I'm not editing it out because my cat is the only reason I get views.
We love the
22,000 views in a month just from her.
Let's go.
Just from her. Aren't you precious? Hey?
GG.
Saving my ass. But anyway, continuing on. So In terms of comfort, as you were saying, like Rocket League's kind of your go-to. I'm just going to give a little bit of a similar experience myself. So back in the day when I started streaming, Twitch didn't have like the really quick response to chat you have now of like, 3 to 4 seconds. Whereas when I was doing it, it was 30 seconds to a minute. So you had to learn how to have a conversation a minute behind it, which was really freaking difficult. And I used to play astronomical amounts of StarCraft. Like, that was the only game I streamed. And for anyone who doesn't know what StarCraft is, it's a real-time strategy game. I talk about it all the time because it's legitimately in my top 5 favorite games, which is a question I will be asking you later. Because it's one of my favorite loaded questions to ask because no one can think of it on the spot. Yes, hello, darling. But the whole point is you're basically trying to do a million things at once. The game's based around being super fast. And as you said, you get really good at having a conversation while just kind of going through the motions of the game you're playing. So it's one thing I would highly recommend to new streamers. If you have a game you like to play competitively that doesn't require extreme focus, like say a fighting game, competitively, because you have to watch every single bloody movement that happens.
Right.
But something where you can sort of, you don't really care if you lose. You can sort of just jump straight back into a game and just get into it. It would be best for you to practice doing that while chatting, because you'll get really good at reading chat, as you said, because when you first start out, if you get, you get a raid or, a group of people coming in to say hello, it gets really hard to read chat when you're not used to it. And
Right.
in the first episode with E-Goblin, he actually said the same thing. He had a really hard time keeping up with chat, even though it might only be like 5 people. Because it's like,
Right.
all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I've got to read 5 different conversations at once. And it's a lot to take in. Whereas, people go, well, how do the big streamers do it? They ignore 99.9% of it, right?
Right.
So, like that's one thing you got to keep in mind. They'll have like their mods they'll basically talk to. They might try to talk to as many people as possible, but look, don't expect to sit there and
Yeah,
go,
it's
I'm going to
impossible.
have like, you get pretty reasonable numbers when it comes to viewer retainership. So like your chat's like always moving, but it's never too quick. Yours to me is like kind of what you want. Maybe a few more people, but like you wouldn't want much more in terms of activity, in terms of trying to keep up with it,
Right.
overall. Sorry, this cat's making things very difficult, aren't you?
It's a female, right?
Yeah, she's my baby
Yeah,
girl.
she's precious. That's like
She is my baby girl. She loves.
beautiful.
She is so obsessed with me. I can't move around the house without her following me. Like if I get up and she's asleep, she will just wake up and follow me, and then just like fall
Oh yeah,
asleep on
see,
my feet because she's like, no,
that's it.
I need to follow you.
Get back here, right?
Yeah, which is life saving. She has definitely helped me out a lot, haven't you? You rat bag.
Awesome.
But speaking
Rat
of
bag.
speaking of considering she has saved me, now you've been pretty open about mental health over the last several years. So I wanted to ask, and I know you've been raising money for a charity whose name is escaping me at the moment because my brain is just focused on the cat that's in my arms. But what kind of charities, causes, social projects have you been kind of focusing your energies on? Because I know you've been trying to give back to the community a lot of late.
Yeah, definitely. So just recently we raised money for with I think they're called Resolve Respect. GG. I'll get the actual name for Karlec and so you can put it in the description. But it was for kids. It was for kids. I have kids. I'm all there's nothing you can tell me about not giving back to kids. Because it's just what's needed. So we've done charities where we give back to the children. St. Jude's is a huge one that revolves around the community. Stack Up was a mental health focused charity that we gave back to, and that one was a double hit to the heart for me because it was military focused and gaming focused, where we raise money and it goes to vets so they can take vacations, they can get gaming consoles, and be able to take a break. But it was super mental health focused, and I loved that. Um, who else? Who else? Oh, I also took part in a charity where we help build houses
Mm.
and help families stay closer to their vets when they need surgeries and stuff like that. So that was another double hit to the heart with that charity. We've just been giving back. So
Mm.
those were pretty much some of the main ones I've been directly focused on, and that just hits the head right on the nail for me. Yeah,
Mm.
mental health is serious, especially
Mm.
being a vet myself. I served in the military and my father served. So my father came from the generation that was told to muscle up and keep moving forward.
Mm.
You know, we don't have time to talk about how you feel. We don't have time to do anything about how you feel or your physical injuries. Just stitch yourself up and continue mission.
Mm.
I'm part of the generation that was told, listen, if you're feeling some type of way, if you're hurt, if you don't feel good, go get checked out. Go
Mm.
get checked out because there are resources out there to take care of yourself. So coming to Twitch, coming to streaming, becoming a content creator has definitely educated me about mental health
Mm.
because I just wasn't sure where it was, what it was, how I was affected. So those are a few of the charities that we've been able to provide some help with, and it's going to continue. We're
Mm.
never going to stop giving back.
You mentioned being a dad yourself. Do you find that your kids, a big inspiration for your like grinded out mindset that you have? And on top of that, do you find that they help inspire you to, create content? You want them to kind of be involved in a way in terms of maybe you play or watch things that they like or introduce them to things that you like?
So my kids are the biggest inspiration. I have three
Mm.
daughters. They're I was just bragging about them because
Yeah.
they're super well behaved. They make my job as a father super easy, and I it has been such a joy raising these three girls. I see so much of me in them. It's actually
Mm.
scary, but yeah, streaming has definitely helped me connect with them in different ways and introduce them to so many things. You can't see it behind me, but I have all my retro consoles behind
Yep.
me that I show them and try to help them understand where my love of gaming came from. And we play some of those old games together. My I asked them what they wanted to do this summer
Mm.
yesterday, and my middle baby, she's 8. She was like, I was like, what do you guys want to do this summer? You know, we're gonna get outside, we're gonna do, and my middle baby was just like, I want to play the PlayStation 5, and I was just like, well, we're talking about getting outside, and here she goes. But yeah, she's gonna. I'm just waiting to get. I have an L-shaped desk. I'm waiting to get a lowercase L shaped desk
Yeah.
so I can invite them in here to have their own segments of me streaming. That might be what allows me to stream more is letting them have their days for
Mm.
streaming. My oldest baby being 15, she's a teenager now, so she can bring so much to the world as far as the mind of a teenager
Mm.
now being, COVID, being in high school, dealing with, the things that happen in active shooter states and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I want her to be able to express herself and give some insight to what she goes through as a teenager in
Mm.
today's world. My 8-year-old, she's a horror lover. She loves FNAF. She loves Poppy's Playtime. So I really need this desk so I can get her in here so she can play what she wants to play
Mm.
and I can be a part of it and empower her as a young female that wants to do horror. And I was like, this
Mm.
stuff doesn't scare you? And she's like, no. She loves FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, if you're not sure what that is,
Mm.
and she loves Poppy Playtime. And I asked her if she would love to see me play it, and I was like, "How about you play it?" So, and then my littlest baby, she's 7.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure we'll do like toys, and she's still in that young stage of dolls and stuff like that, which is
Mm.
perfectly okay. but I feel like it'll be either that or Roblox for her. So
Yeah.
what they like, I definitely want to play. And thinking of a business standpoint, it definitely markets to a younger audience,
Mm.
um, who would watch and stuff like that. But as far as what they like, I want them to be proud of what I'm doing. My middle baby, she already talks about being a streamer, so we're halfway there. She actually has written a book that we're going to get published about being a young female being told that as a young female she can't stream,
Mm.
and we have that concept going. So that's going to be a project that get done during the summer as well. So
Mm.
it's awesome.
Oh, that's actually really, really sick. It reminds me when you posted a picture of your kids on Facebook, because we're friends on Facebook. We're not giving away his private Facebook. Fuck off. But basically, I can't remember the exact words I said, but it was along the words of girl dad, best dad. And I have stood by that ever since I said it because I have never seen a father so proud of his daughters. Because constantly, like, this man is just always bragging about how good his kids is.
Yeah, I
So,
really do.
you
It's
know,
bad.
hey, look, take
I
pride
really
where you
do.
can get it, and
Right.
as you said, like, it's nice to know it's like, okay, well, you've got, a 15-year-old, especially with the unfortunate situation, especially in America at the moment, which is just so awful, all these tragedies happening, you need a younger voice, to be empowered to come through. And, where's the first place a kid's going to get their power? From their parents,
Right.
then
Right.
from their parents, it comes from the family. And then from the family, it comes from the friends. And then from the friends, it spreads out. And that's how it starts to grow and grow and grow. And,
Facts.
I know, I watched, just to talk about it real quick, I watched a lot of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, as I feel like a lot of people did. Probably way too much of it, to be honest. But a big problem people are trying to say is like, oh, this is a huge setback for women, blah, blah, blah. I don't care how you feel about the case. It's up to you to decide. Like a jury member, you review the evidence for yourself and make up your own damn mind. You're an adult.
Right.
Everyone's free to make their own decision. But I,
Facts.
I don't think this changes anything. I think what it does is it's created a really good discussion around something as awful as domestic violence, something as awful as sexual abuse. And even if, it's true that Amber Heard was faking it, or even if it is true that she did have those things happen to her, this discussion at the end of the day is being had. So there is one good thing
Definitely.
that's come out of it. And, it's unfortunate it had to come out in an ugly kind of way, but, sometimes it's the unfortunate thing, like with, with gun violence that's been happening over in America. Like, the only way something's going to change is tragedy, because people are too complacent with just, you know,
That
being
sucks.
being idiots, for as far as I can see it. And people go, I've had a discussion with a good friend of mine, Pixel Sean, who actually got basically quote tweeted by some dickhead with like 500,000 followers on Twitter, because he was like, man, like, it doesn't make sense as an Australian why these things are happening. And this person's like, oh, we have more freedom than you. It's like, if I want a gun, I can go get a gun. Like,
Right.
I don't mean to make this shit too political, guys, but, look after your kids, right? Because you see how much this man loves his daughters. If something was to happen, I know he'd be broken. So,
Oh man.
I just wanted
Right.
to take the time real quick to go look after your kids and educate them properly on the dangers of the world.
100%.
I don't have kids. I am not really into the whole relationship side of things, but I've seen just some of the pain that just a kid getting sick has caused other people, let alone something as awful as that. So, just as something like that. Now, to kind of change gears a little bit, to touch on what you said before, you've got the retro consoles going. You've got a bit of a retro collection. And now, what is a retro game, right? So let's say from the ages of before you were 16,
Okay.
that if you could replay it for the first time, Like, pretend it was rebooted into modern graphics, everything, or it was the exact same as the way it was, however you would prefer to have it be. What game would you pick from your childhood as the game to experience again?
So I know most people think I'm gonna go Super Mario Brothers, but I don't think that should be touched at all. I
Mm.
Super Mario Brothers 3 specifically is my favorite Super Mario of all time. So I gotta go with the Power Rangers game I had for
Ooh.
Sega. It was phenomenal. And if they update the graphics, oh my god, it would be perfect. Like that would be amazing. That Just the color scheme and
Mm.
everything, like yeah, I wouldn't get an that would be amazing to just wow. I wouldn't even know what to do. I
uh,
wouldn't even know what to do.
Speaking of Power Rangers, did you watch a lot of that growing up, or were you more just anything else?
So I did watch a lot of Power Rangers. The original Power Rangers definitely I keep close to my heart. I just started rewatching it on Netflix actually.
Nice.
And it's bad. It's bad, but it's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And then I think I got up to Turbo, and I think they went to space
Mm.
after Turbo, and I think that's where I fell off. But I would love to go back and watch from where I stopped on, except for like some of the new stuff today. Because I think the last new one, like the new modern one that I watched, was Dino Fury.
Mm.
And then I had to cut myself. I was like, yeah, this isn't the same show I grew up on, which is okay because I'm grown now. So the
Yeah.
kids of today need whatever keeps their attention.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But yeah, I love Power Rangers. I was a martial arts guy. I wanted
Mm.
to take up martial arts, but my mom didn't want me to learn violence at a young age. So watching was all I got to do
Mm.
until I was grown. I did some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and the company that the dojo that I was at was guy was really mean about something, and I was like, you know what, I'm done here.
Mm.
Thought about picking it back up, but I don't know.
Yeah. To each
Probably
their
not gonna
own.
happen.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the fitness journey you've been on is like, to me, would be more important, at least from
Oh
my
yeah, 100%.
perspective, considering, like,
100%.
I mean, you look infinitely better than what you used to. You know, like just a
Appreciate
couple
it.
of years ago,
Appreciate it.
like the work is really starting to pay off. Meanwhile, me, I look the same because my weight doesn't change. I'll go between like a 10 kilo range, so say about 18 to 25 pounds, like in that kind of range.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And it's usually all my stomach, and that's about it. So
Right.
I look the same pretty much no matter what. I'm just lucky because I'm tall. I hide a lot of my weight. So I don't know what I am in terms of pounds, but I think it's like
Okay.
310, something like that.
Okay.
But I am also 6'3" to 6'4", so it doesn't really look that big.
Uh,
But it's something that, watching you do that, do your gym stuff, posting it on Twitter, which will be down below as well. It makes me want to go back to the gym really bad. It's just all my
yep.
money gets spent on this little shit, so I don't have
And I
spare
get it.
money.
And I get it.
The
And
gym's
listen, I
bloody expensive,
completely
yeah.
understand. I'm definitely a part of that tall group that hit a lot of my weight as well, and I'm still
Mm,
hiding some, but you know, we can only do what we can do. I would never be anywhere on social media, anywhere on this platform telling somebody, "Oh, you have to do this." You really don't.
mm,
You don't need that much. He talked about it earlier. I have a personality in which the things that I talk about, I never want to be looked at as a person that won't do it. So I
mm,
do it. I go too hard
yeah,
sometimes, and then I take a break. So you don't have to spend 3 hours in the gym. You don't have to spend 5 hours in the gym. You don't have to spend money on protein. You don't have to spend money on whatever you don't want to spend it on.
mm,
If you can do 10 push-ups today and then 20 push-ups 2 days from now, do that. If that's
mm,
where your heart is led. If you want to do sit-ups this day, do some pull-ups the next day. If that's where your heart is led, you have to do what you. Once you get into that mindset, it's a game changer.
mm,
That's where I'm at with it. I never try to force anybody to make change. That's where I'm led. You know what I'm saying? That's my
mm,
journey. If it leads to inspiration for you, I love that. I
mm,
want that. That's why I'm here. That's what my Twitch journey has been about.
mm.
But you don't have to do the same things I do because my journey is the same.
Mm.
So,
Uh,
people need to understand that.
yeah, and it reminds me of something I say to a lot of people, because I used to, for those who don't know, teach music as a tutor, and I used to always get this excuse from kids, and even adults would give it to me, and it used to piss me off to no end. I'd always hear that I don't have time. Don't have time. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have fucking time? Do you know how much time there is in a day? Right? Like, it's like, oh, I'm sleeping 10 hours a day. All right, so you still got 14 hours. Oh, I have school. You still got 8 hours.
Yeah,
The fuck you want about? You got time. No one is that
got time.
busy. No one is. And I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger actually said it. Something along the lines of, you can sleep for 6 to 8 hours. You get up, you can spend 45 minutes to an hour at a gym or doing your exercises at home, and then you still got the whole day to do whatever you want.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I don't give myself the excuse I don't have time. I just need to get myself motivated when it comes to that. But one thing you did say as well is rest, knowing when to rest. And when it comes to content creation, now I know for me personally, I learned kind of, when I just don't want to stream, I just don't stream. And it's something
Yeah.
you said, for yourself, you're streaming when you want to stream now. So how would you factor rest into, you know, the overall flow for your channel? Not so much, oh, do I need, like, should I do it? Should I force myself to do it? Like, or will it affect my growth? But how does it make you feel about streaming? Does that make you feel better? Does it make you feel, sometimes like you're not streaming enough, or like some kind of middle ground?
So this is he. Let me tell you about this guy right here. I don't know if it's the streamer mind that he has, or what his journey has put him through or taken or brought him to. But these questions are fire. Like some of the best questions I've ever had someone ask. So in terms of streaming, and I only speak on me, but personally, I'm never going to say there's such thing as a part-time streamer,
Mm,
because the minute you go live and the minute you in stream, you're doing something else for your channel, no
mm,
matter what. It's gonna because you want it to look good, you want it to be better.
mm,
It's just, you know, everybody. I haven't come across anybody that doesn't want a better camera or doesn't want a better microphone.
mm,
So, um, you know, lately, like he just mentioned, I have just been streaming when I want to. So I'll stream one day, and then I'll be like, all right, let's end here. I feel good about what I brought to the table. And then I'll step away from the computer. I'll go get a snack. I'll go hug my kids. I'll go see how their day has gone. And then I'll come back up and I'm like, all right, I need this, and this.
mm.
And I'll be like, all right, let's start this. Like I'm recently going through a rebrand, so there's things that still have revamped Glenn on it that need to go away. I
Yeah.
just got a message from somebody on Fiverr that just redid my intro for my YouTube because it said revamp, and I just asked them. I was like, the money I pay you apply to the outro as well, because that still says revamp, but it's neither here nor there. There's always something that you need to get done.
Mm. Now, this is something you touched on very briefly earlier. How you said you were using a laptop that definitely wasn't spec'd out to do what you wanted it to do, but it goes with what you were just saying. How you always want a better mic, always want a better webcam or camera, always want better lighting and that. How, when you look back at your early streams to compared to now, do you feel that, hey, I've done a really good job at evolving where I came from? Or do you do what a lot of people do when you look at like a yearbook coming out of high school and that, and you're like, oh man, that was a little rough. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you look back again, like, to kind of go back to an earlier term, like, do you feel kind of bittersweet about it? Like, man, yeah, it was shit, but like, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be here. Or do you look back at it with just like pure rose-colored glasses? Or do you look back at it and go, that shit doesn't exist, don't pretend it exists, like, just wipe it from the face of the earth?
No, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet, and you said it perfectly. I see where I've come from,
Mm,
and if you don't take time to reflect at that, you might not last as long as you
mm,
want to, or you might not get to where you want to go. So you were there.
Mm,
You mentioned the green screen. I didn't know what I was doing.
mm,
So to meet so many different people that were able to help and provide that help, because some people don't want to help.
mm,
I'm glad that I had people along my journey that were willing to help me. It's bittersweet. Now there are times, because with shout outs you see
mm,
clips. There are times when I see shout outs and I'm like, you get you I'm triggered by some of the people that are no longer here.
mm,
Because you have that. Some people get excommunicated from the group because they did something heinous,
mm,
that they had to be removed, or people that were putting on a facade about who they were. I'm usually triggered by those clips, and I have been going back and trying to get rid of those clips
mm,
because those people don't deserve to be around. Because like you
mm,
mentioned, safe haven. We're here to protect the people that are going to be here. Want you to feel safe. So I do look back and I'm like, sheesh, man, what a long time ago as far
yeah,
as my clips. But it's bittersweet because I'm always trying to evolve. I'm always trying to revamp. I'm always trying to do better, look better.
mm,
And a lot of streamers now, we do talk about the business side of it.
mm,
Somebody wants a certain aesthetic in a stream room so they can enjoy it. Somebody
yeah,
wants you to, play certain things. We have a lot of anime conversations, and I have anime posters up, and Marvel is still a big thing from when I was a teenager when they were
mm,
dropping these movies, and we talk about, my favorite character, the Hulk, and stuff like that. So, we're always thinking about ways to evolve. So it's bittersweet for me every time
mm,
because at any given time, Carla, this can all be gone.
yeah,
I
definitely.
can be here today and gone tomorrow. So what I do love recalling on are the good memories that I've had
Mm,
with everybody. And that's what's unique about me. I'm able to recall on certain things that people tell me because they trust me, because I'm
mm,
not fake or phony about it. I give you get what you see. I'm not going to
mm.
bullshit you. I don't have time for that
Oh, well, I've known
because
you
it's like
what
a mechanic.
2, 3 years minimum.
Yeah.
Um, Probably even pushing on 4 to be honest. At this point, so and for those who go, oh, maybe he's just saying that, I want to put it out there because he has literally been like this since day one. Like ever
And
since
I'm
I
not
met him,
changing.
he has not. He's always been the same. Like I maybe yeah, you could argue yeah, he's changed a little bit since his very early days where he used to get a lot more like aggravated. But that's
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
early days of streaming. Everyone does, trust me. Every small streamer, when you just start out, when things don't work your way, you have technical issues, you get flustered, you get pissed off. It's like you just want your thing to
Right.
look good and have everything work out like as neat as possible. Um,
100%.
Now, talking about kind of reminiscing on things, now you're a big fan of like 80s and 90s cartoons yourself. And I
Definitely.
wanted to bring this up specifically because I remember you were going through a big period like with Hey Arnold and stuff not too
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah.
But what is your absolute favorite cartoon? So it's let's paint the picture. It's Sunday morning, right? It's a little bit cold outside. You're nice and snugged up. You got a blanket around you. You got a bowl of your favorite cereal. You got a hot chocolate sitting next to you. You're 8, 9 years, 10 years old again. What show are you putting on?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good
Teenage
man.
Mutant. 10 out of 10. I'm going to try it again. You got to.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that TMNT is Nickelodeon now. I don't know what broadcasting network it was when I was a kid, when
Mm.
it was the 90s cartoon, but TMNT all day, every day is my favorite cartoon of all time. 10 out of 10.
Who's your favorite turtle?
Donatello.
Good man.
Donatello. We
Mm.
us nerds have to stick together.
Yeah. He was
As
also
a matter of fact,
he was
we
the
both
best
wear
in the day.
glasses.
Yeah.
We both wear glasses. We've heard the word four eyes. I can't even count anymore. So
Mm.
when the smart guy in the room gets love and holds a staff and he's technical and tactical,
Yeah.
that's a winning combination.
And the best character in the
So,
NES game. So,
exactly.
deal with it.
Exactly.
Now, just to kind of get into a little bit of another thing to do with favorites, and I did mention this earlier. I was going to ask this question. what are your top 5 games? Plus, you're allowed to give some honorable mentions if you like. You've got ones that are like, yeah, I love it, but I don't know if I put it top 5.
Okay. So I mentioned it earlier. Super Mario Brothers 3
Mhm.
is going to be number 1. It has to be number 1 because that's where my love of games came from. My mom would sit with me in my room when I was an only child, and my dad was at work, and we played the NES, and then we played the Super Nintendo,
Mm.
and I had a Sega. So I give Liz the nod for telling me what streaming is, but my mom is the reason I'm
Mm.
gaming today on a platform. And she knows it. I told her about it. And she, moms and parents from that generation talk
Yeah.
about jobs and stuff like that. But, at first she might still not understand what streaming is, but she knows about my stream. When she calls me on the phone, she talks to chat from time to time. I'm trying to get her to pop up during the stream so everybody can meet her soon because she's just a powerful woman of God. So all right, so number 1 is Super Mario Brothers 3 because of my mom.
Mm.
PUBG and Rocket League, I'm gonna put at 4 and 5.
Yep.
PUBG at 4 because it's what got me here.
Mm.
Rocket League now because it's just it has, and people might not understand why I love Rocket League so much, but the muscle memory that you have to remember it's just like it's ridiculous at this point that I know when to react, and there's so many different ins and outs of why I should go here or why I should hit the ball this way, and that's why I love it. It's insane.
Mm.
So yeah, so Rocket League I'm gonna put 5 because it's where I am now. And I've spent 2 years grinding that. Funny thing is I spent 2 years grinding PUBG and I have over, I think between it's either, so I seen the app and it says 700. Mikey picked up it's about over 700 wins. That's right.
Jeez.
It's over 700 wins on PUBG.
I don't think I ever got one. I'm so shit at battle royale games because like everyone wants to play third person, right? I just want to play first person. I hate third person shooters. Like whenever we play, just as a little tangent, whenever me and the boys when like at school in computer class, we'd bring Star Wars Battlefront 2 for PC on a hard drive and then put it on all the computers we were on. We'd all hop on a LAN game versus each other. Everyone but me was in third person. And they're like, why do you do that? I'm like, I can't fucking aim. If I'm not in first person, I can't do it. I played way too much Doom growing up that I can not play third person shooters. Anyway, I'll let you continue.
Okay, so we're gonna put 2. Sonic the Hedgehog has to go number 2.
Yep.
For everything it's done for gaming. That rival between Sega and Nintendo that I just learned about watching a documentary. The console wars. It was amazing. I think it's on Hulu. Possibly. I can't remember. Oh, HBO. I think it's HBO Max. And then third, this game has to be third, and it holds high because it took my attention. Any game that takes my attention away from my main game is an instant win. My third game is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Good man.
What a freaking masterpiece.
Beautiful game.
What a freaking masterpiece.
Everyone picks 2. I've always loved 3 more. Always.
3 is just I was playing Call of Duty and it pissed me off one day and I was like, I've had this game for months, but just pop it in. And I didn't play Call of Duty until it was done.
Yeah.
I didn't play Call. I loved it. I loved it. It was so amazing to be a part of that. Honorable mentions, I don't have many. Call of Duty 4, which brought me into the game. That was amazing. Power Rangers game that we talked about earlier. That's an honorable mention. I would love to have it on the list, but from where I came from gaming to where I'm at now, those just have to be there. I think that's about it. There's some other ones I'm forgetting, but that top 5 right there, that's me all the way.
Yeah. I like that you're a lot more organized than what Gobby was. He had a hard time thinking of it. He's like, maybe this. See, my top 5 has been set in stone for a long time. Like 4 and 5 may swap. Even like potentially third place could swap. But
Okay.
realistically, my top 3 is completely set, and then 4 and 5. Like as I said, they can swap just based on what I've been playing of late. So for me personally, I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, or just the series in general, as my number 1 favorite game. But also tied for number 1 is
Yeah.
Darkness 1 and 2. And for those who haven't played Darkness 1 and 2 or have never heard of the series, it's based
Yeah.
off the comic book The Darkness, which is one of my favorite comics of all time. And basically, it's a horror game where you play the horror. It's the best way I can put it. So you get so at the time, especially two plays incredibly well. The first game is pretty old. It's a PS3, Xbox 360 era game. But with 2, but the best way to put it, it's an FPS game, but instead of just being like a single gun, you can dual wield, but you also get 2 demon arms that can pick things up, throw things. You can pick people up, rip them in half, rip their spines out their ass and shit. It's
Oh
brutal.
wow.
Like number 2, I legitimately, when I first played it, I did what they call, I think it's called the corkscrew or the chicken bone. I forget, chicken wing. I forget what it is exactly. But basically, you
Yeah.
grab both legs and like you twist the legs like that, and then you rip that way, and then just go. They rip down the middle.
Ooh.
So from the groin straight through to the skull. And I got phantom pains from that so bad. I was like, I'm not playing that for a week.
That sounds brutal.
It is. And the only thing I hate with 2 is the fact it ends on a cliffhanger and we're never getting a third game because the comic stopped.
Oh
And it is
wow.
one of the only games that has ever made me openly weep and cry like a baby while playing. The only other thing that's ever done something like that to me is the Pokemon movie, which still does it to me to this day. As soon as Pikachu
Facts.
starts crying, I'm gone. Like you can,
I love that.
my late grandfather, may he rest in peace. Several years ago when he passed away, I had to be the pallbearer, and he is a man that inspired me to absolute extremities. He is the reason I got into music, which is something I do want to talk to you about in a
Amazing.
second. He's the reason I play guitar, and he always supported everything I ever did. Like just
Amazing.
one of those guys. Now, don't get me wrong, he wasn't a saint. He definitely did things in his personal life that weren't great,
Of course. Of
but
course.
he was someone who was just that pillar for me. And as someone who was adopted, he just made me feel like family in a way that, as much as mum and dad, they're my mum and dad,
Yeah.
tried, it's just, it never really felt the same because I was so much bigger than everyone else in my family. So like my mum's
Okay.
like 5'2", my dad's like 5'10", and I'm out here, like 6'3", 6'4", just towering over them. I'm like, I love him to death, and don't get me wrong, I talk a lot like my dad, but me
Yeah.
and my birth father are like spitting image of each other. We talk the same, act the same, like the same music, do everything the same. But yeah, my
Gotcha.
grandfather, did the pallbearing thing, managed to get all the way through that, barely cried at all. Watched Pokemon like a year later, and it was just gone. I don't know
Yeah.
why that upsets me so much. It's just one of those things that's always got to me. And then, so in third place, I'd have Final Fantasy VIII, just
Okay.
because, I know it's not everyone's favorite Final Fantasy. It's definitely not for everyone. I love it. The story is batshit stupid, but I love the gameplay
Yeah.
so much. I love it so much. Not only do I have a 40-minute video on my YouTube channel for it, but I actually named my cat after the lead female.
Oh,
So
that's
that's why
dope.
her name is
That's
Renoa,
dope.
just because I
That's
love the
dope.
lead female character so much. She's one of my absolute favorites. And then 4 and 5 can swap, as I said, interchangeably, and that's Doom and StarCraft. And
Okay.
like Rocket League for you and PUBG, StarCraft is that game I've been playing for like the better part of 10 years now. And
Wow.
I don't even know how many thousands of hours I've played that game,
That's amazing.
on so many different servers. Now, I am not particularly great at the game, and people go, "Oh, if you played that much, you got to be good." Yes, I'm better than the
Right.
average player, but the average player sucks, right? But if I go up against like some of my friends, like Quanta, shout out to him on Team NV, I would get my ass handed to me, and he's not even at the top level.
Wow.
And I'm like, that dude makes me look like a fucking scrub. But in saying that, I want to go a
Thank you
little
for
bit.
mentioning Kingdom Hearts too, by the
Yeah.
way, because that's definitely an honorable mention. I'm actually replaying it. Well, I never fully finished it, but I'm
Mm,
going through a playthrough now, where it's a game that I did for me. I just couldn't stream,
mm,
um, and it pissed off a few people because of like how difficult it was for me.
mm.
So now I'm like playing by myself with a guide. I will say that I'm
Yeah.
playing with a guide, and I love it. It's amazing. So
Mm,
yeah, Kingdom Hearts is definitely an honorable mention. I'm on one. I'm gonna play two and three by myself and just enjoy the game because
mm,
one is so phenomenal so far. So
mm.
thank you for mentioning that.
Actually, speaking of three, I want to give a quick shout out, and I will link the channel below. Not that I expect to get a lot of views, but there is a guy by the name of Jordan Allen. He is actually technically a bigger creator than me, but he has, to me, the best Let's Play that I have ever seen from an emotional standpoint. And you go, it's a Let's Play series. What the fuck? But he is doing a Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 3, which has been going on for the last few years, where I think he's 100%ing the game or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly what he said he was doing. I'm only up to about episode 9, episode 10, because it's pretty heavy. Because he shares stories at the end of every episode about his late brother who passed away several years ago from a drug overdose, and you're sitting there discussing what he would have liked to have been able to do, and just reminiscing on the good times, the bittersweet memories, and kind
yeah,
of talking about how he's doing because of those sort of things, and basically the whole point of starting this whole journey just to have a permanent remembrance, a permanent place to remember his brother that isn't just in our memories.
yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, pardon me. Um, now I did speak about you and music really quick. Now you did mention obviously you had music, well, a laptop you were using for music creation.
Yeah.
How we don't get to see you do music very often these days, but how would you say music plays in your life? Like what kind of role does it play for you personally?
It's a major role. It's a
Mm,
major role, and I'm influenced by and because I spent some time producing, which will be coming back. I actually just need to stop being lazy and add my VSTs back
mm,
to my software, and I'll
yeah.
be ready to go. So I just need to stop being lazy and get that done. So I can start creating it again because I miss it. It's a different vibe when you're able to hear every instrument on a beat or in a song. So like I'm so influenced by so many different young artists, new artists, old artists. Um, because the one thing that I have a respect for is history.
Mm,
We don't have the music of today without, you know, music of yesterday and
mm,
years ago. So, and that I apply to everything because I'm a life learner. I love learning. But I always have that respect of knowing that we wouldn't have what's here today without what's here yesterday. So, and it's expression, it's art. So I never knock what people put forth. It's
mm,
just either I like it or I don't. And then
mm,
if you like it, I don't knock you for it because it's your ears hear something different than my ears didn't hear or heard differently. So,
mm,
having that connection with music means everything because one of the guys that I'm really with that produces still OPC Sosa, we play some of his beats on stream. We play new albums on stream and stuff like that. So I was there in Korea with him because I met him in the military. Day one of him learning how to make music, and he taught me. So seeing from where he started to where he is now, and knowing where he's going to be later is just a great feeling. It's a great feeling to be a part of so many different people that are
mm.
really going after what they want. So that music connection means everything because I listen to music when I play Rocket League. Listen to music when I'm in the gym. Oh my god,
Mm.
that I went to Walmart 2 days ago because I forgot my headphones at home, and I was like, if I don't go get some now, I'm going back home and I'm gonna be mad. So I went and grabbed some that I could just plug into my phone.
Yeah,
I had to.
I've done that. It's actually a thing that the gym near me that I used to go to before they doubled their price, because the price was only $5 a visit. But they doubled to 10 because they're like, well, we can't keep affording to pay the electricity bills as rates go up and all that shit. But they actually sell headphones there because they're like, we know you're probably going to need them at some point. You might
Right,
end up breaking something. We've got like, yeah, they're not great, but they'll do the job. They'll last you. Um,
right.
Now, one thing you said, like seeing your friend, like from where he was to where he is now, how much do you think that impacts your drive?
Major impact. This is somebody I speak to every day almost. And it's not always shits and giggles. We talk about everything. We talk about investing, talk about owning property. We talk about quitting our jobs so we can focus on what we really want to do because it's possible. So having that person in my life is definitely a motivation because we feed off of each other. He has his certification to train people in the gym, and he's living in Texas right now, and we have those conversations. He doesn't want to be a personal trainer in someone else's gym. I'm like, man, we need to own our own gym, stuff like that. So he's like my right hand man when it comes to just everything. To have somebody who's going through certain things that I'm going to go through later, as far as like him buying a house, him selling it, and giving it to a property manager so they can manage it while he's living somewhere else. And he just bought a duplex, and he's going to live on one side and someone's going to live the other, and they're going to pay part of that mortgage. And so to have somebody going through those things that I can learn from, and like I said, people that share information, because he could be selfish and say he doesn't want me to know about it, but he tells me about it because I'm giving myself 4 to 6 years, and I have no shame in saying this. 4 to 6 years, I want to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I have to have it happen. I don't want to keep working. I want to keep creating content. That's what I love doing. I need to know. I need to do it. It's on me. That's why I'm working so hard, because I really see this happening and I want it to happen. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make it happen. That's the difference.
And if not, you're going to get extremely close. I honestly believe you will get there. But, it's one thing a lot of people don't realize, especially these days, how important it is to invest. And not just invest, financially, but invest your time in learning. So as you said, when you started out, you knew nothing, right? When it came just to content creation in general, barely knew a damn thing, and you learn from other people. You pick up every bit of information, and it's I wouldn't say necessarily the exact number one, but it's definitely like top 2, 3 things I would recommend if you are starting out streaming or content creation in general. Learn as much as possible. And the reason why I'm trying to do these interviews was because I actually got inspired by one of my favorite YouTubers. I don't know if you'd watch him personally, but you might. I trust you more than I would trust E-Goblin because he's not into basketball. I know you're a basketball fan yourself, but he does a lot of 2K related content, KLT4Q.
Okay.
Good old Kenny. But he said, like, I was watching his other channel and he was doing unboxings and things like that, just like fan mail and stuff. And a fan asked him, he's like, oh, how do you get good at interviews? And he said one line specifically, and it stuck with me ever since, was you learn to let them speak, pay attention to what they say, and then ask them a question about what they said, and just let them keep going. And try to, let them speak to their experience, not to your experience. Because it's very human, and I've done it throughout this. I know I have, and this is my second ever interview. Sue me. Like it's a matter of learning to let your guest, in this case Glint, speak, and then if I can relate to it, I try to. But at the same time, I don't need to friggin' always say everything that happens. But in saying that, this is the joy of this style of interview. This is just me hanging out with a good friend and talking some shit. Now, about talking shit.
We're having a conversation. We're not really, this is not an interview. I've known this man for a good while now. So we're just catching up, honestly. This is beautiful.
But talking about talking shit, one of my favorite questions, what is your most controversial gaming opinion?
Controversial. Oh, wee! That's a good question. I got one for you.
Yep.
I got one for you. And I don't care who it pisses off because I love this game and it's an honorable mention. I'm glad we're still here. I don't give a damn how good Perfect Dark is. I don't give a damn how much people love Perfect Dark. I'm GoldenEye through and through. I don't care. I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. I am gonna replay. I never played Perfect Dark. I am gonna replay it because of how good it is. Because one thing I will not be ignorant to is if a lot of people say something is good, 9 times out of 10 it's probably really good. So I am gonna play it, but I don't care. I'm gonna play it for me. I love GoldenEye because of what it did for me. I've always been a James Bond fan. Bro, he sleeps with everyone's woman. You know, he does what he wants to do. He's just a different breed. So I will play. I am going to play it. I just don't care how good it is because I love GoldenEye that much. I don't care how bad you think GoldenEye is. I love GoldenEye. That was, you know why? Because that's where me and my brothers formed our love of gaming together with multiplayer. And I'm the oldest, so I used to smoke them all the time. I didn't care how many times I smoked them. It was just that was it for me, you know.
Yeah, I think I got to play multiplayer with people because like my sister would play with me, and I remember I would have been like fucking 4 or 5, and we only had the NES, so we weren't poor. Don't get me wrong, right? Like we just didn't have a shitload of spare disposable income, so it was very rare that we would buy necessarily like the newest game console or anything like that. So I pretty much skipped the Super Nintendo generation. Even though technically I was born when that came out, but we had the NES from when my mum and dad got together, and me and my sister would sit there and play original Mario Bros. Not Super Mario Bros. The original Mario Bros. Where you got to like tip the turtles over and then kick them off the screen. We would sit there and play that for hours, listening to fucking Shania Twain and AC/DC CDs, well tapes, because we didn't have CDs.
Right.
You know. Just sit there in mum and dad's room playing these games for hours and hours. And then eventually a good friend of mine who lived a couple doors down, we would sit there and play like a lot of, what was one game? We used to play a lot of like Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Okay.
We used to play a lot of fighting games, which basically consisted of neither of us knowing anything until I was about...
Button mash.
Yeah, that's all we ever did. I eventually started to learn how to do combos and that, and now he refuses to play against me because I'm that one guy, you know, who played fighting games just a little too much. I'm better than all of my friends, but if I go to a tournament, I will not beat a single person because I'm not that good, but I'm better than all my friends at it because I played it way too much. That's why we all play Smash Bros. Because it's like, it doesn't matter. You can just fuck around and have fun. Like, everyone's got a chance at Smash Bros. But like, if I'm playing Mortal Kombat, you got... No, it's not happening. That was that one game that I just played way too much. Now, in saying all of that, what I want to come to is something you've already kind of touched on a little bit, but at the end of the day, what would you say is your ultimate goal when it comes to content creation?
Inspire others. Spread positivity, love, motivation, and it's changed. That was the beginning. To show love, spread positivity, spread motivation. Now I'm an advocate of self-love, self-growth, self-motivation, because if I'm lacking those, I can't provide those to other people. So I've been selfish with the things that I've been trying to accomplish, but it all leads to a platform where I'm still sharing it with people. We started talking about investing on stream. We started talking about budgets and bills because it's real life. We started talking about bad days, or like you said, I've never changed, but now I tell people when I'm frustrated and I'm upset, you know? So, yeah, that's the major goal. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I do want to be a partner streamer one day. I do want to be a partner YouTuber one day. So those things mean something to me. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's stuff that, you know, I didn't talk about when I was first streaming because I wanted people to know what the main focus was. Now people know that's who I am. That is what I'm about. Now I can talk about the business side of streaming and being a content creator because I have established that balance and that foundation of love and support. That's all I speak about. That's all I talk about. So you know that's who I am. Now we could talk about the business and talk about what I need to become a partner streamer and stuff like that. Because those are goals that I want, and those are goals that I'm gonna get. So,
Mm,
we're working every day.
mm.
That's main goal.
Now, you mentioned we've talked a lot about streaming predominantly, but I actually want to get into YouTube because, as you've said, you've been starting to kind of revamp it and like put a little bit more effort into it and get it going. As you said, you're getting your outro screen fixed up. You've just got your intro screen fixed.
Yeah.
So, what have you got on the horizon? What are your sort of plans for YouTube related content?
So Rocket League is mainly what I do on Twitch, and it
Mm,
is what it is. I'm actually about to start streaming other things. Not that I need a Rocket League break. I just want to play something else on stream. I
yeah.
actually want to play that Star Wars game. I don't remember the name of it, but I had it. I got it free with my Xbox. So I really want to start playing that because it just looks super fun.
Mm,
As far as YouTube goes, I have my fitness page up now,
mm,
so I'm always going to be showing you what I'm doing in the gym, but more importantly, because of who I am, I have to dive into everything. So I've been juicing. You're going to see what I eat. You're going to see supplements that I take. You're going to
mm,
see what I do on my rest days because that's important.
mm,
You're going to see what I'm reading to build the muscle of my mind. You're going to see it's going to be an in-depth fitness page because
mm,
that's how I am. I want to know how anatomy works and breaking down the body and breaking down myself to build myself up. So
mm.
that's the fitness page. On the gaming thing, on the gaming YouTube page, it's going to be still a lot of Rocket League. Hopefully, I can start playing with more people and bringing them on, like games with Karlec or games with Grandpa Gamer and stuff like
Mm,
that. But I'm also going to be sharing other things that I play
mm,
because going back to the gaming YouTube scene, there is no anxiety.
mm,
There's a certain anxiety that comes with streaming for me,
mm.
when you hit that go live button. And it kind of learning how to edit and stuff has brought me back to YouTube. So I'm excited to come back
Mm.
and build that back up.
Just touching on the anxiety thing, as you said, going live, and it's definitely something that's 100% true, right? The way I describe it, like I don't give a shit if I'm live streaming anymore because I've been doing it for nearly 9 years at this point. I'm at like 8 years, 8 months or something stupid. And I've been doing it since I made this account. I had an account before that I came up with Karlec as a thing. Um, Even though I've actually used this username online for a very fucking long time, I've just never changed it. I was like, no one else has it. No one else uses it. So it's like, it's because it was so unique, I've been able to just stick to it.
Yeah.
But there is definitely, and I remember I used to have a big problem convincing myself to go live because, especially in the early days, right, when you don't know how to, solve your problems when it comes to, oh, my image quality is bad, or I'm lagging, or I'm dropping frames, what's going on? How can I diagnose whether it's my internet or whether it's Twitch? You know, a lot of people don't know how to find this stuff out. And you look online, and yes, the answer is technically there, but you're going to have a million friggin' answers and nothing that makes sense because you're going to have
Right.
people either talking in super technical speak or going, oh, just post your log file and then we can let you know. It's like, well, I need to know now, not, 2 hours from now when you've read this.
Right.
So it's one thing that, is really important is to, as we said earlier, hopefully find someone that is willing to share knowledge. I guarantee you'll find someone. It is super easy. Find any streamer, I'd say, with like 10 to 15 viewers at least. I wouldn't go more than 30 because at that point you're going to start to get to the point, these are people that are starting to really push for partner quite consistently. And, once you get a ball rolling, if it's going downhill, it's going downhill. It's gone once that ball's
Right.
moving. But you will plateau a lot. So when you get those streamers that are kind of in that plateau, one, you come in, you're helping them by being a new viewer. And two, you might be able to get knowledge from other people. Don't go in there sitting there going, "Oh, I'm a streamer too. You should come watch me." You do that shit, you'll get kicked out. Right? There's it. Look, the amount of dickheads I've seen do it over the years, get the fuck out of here. Don't do that. But if you come in and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Just be friends with this person. You'll build a natural respect with one another. me and Glint became friends, as I said, like I met him through a Facebook group page. I can't even remember who
Jesus,
clicked
what was
who
the name,
first.
dude?
I just remember seeing you go live. I'm like, sweet, I'll go there. Bam. Saw that you're having some trouble. I'm like, hey, maybe if you try this, and this. And then we fixed the problems. And, you know, it just became a very mutual friendship from there. Like, and it doesn't take much to spread that positivity,
At all.
you know. And look, I'm no saint, right? I say a lot of mean, awful things. I am prone to being a cunt, is the best way to put it. So much so that my good friend Teddy Rugby, shout out to him, who I mentioned in the previous one, and I told this story to E Goblin, and I'm going to tell it to you too because it's one of my favorite stories because of
Yeah.
how often I say cunt, because it's an Australian thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, I forget exactly where he is. I don't think I'm pretty sure he's on the East Coast from memory.
Okay.
But he went to his cousin's wedding, and because he'd been hanging out with me playing StarCraft all the time, he
Oh,
kept saying it.
God.
And he still to this day, if we ever we ever get to catch each other, because you know different time zones make it a bloody nightmare.
Of course.
He still tells me every time that he nearly got kicked out of his cousin's wedding just because he couldn't stop saying it.
I'm
But
believing.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
it's one of my absolute favorite stories because every time he tells it, you see the smile come across his face. I'm like, here we fucking go. I'm in trouble now. Yeah, like what I do this time. He's like,
Right.
like apparently they still bring it up to this day. It's been like fucking
Oh,
6 years.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it's been one of those things. So when it comes to YouTube specifically, and I mean you can touch on this when it comes to Twitch as well. Do you have any creators like say larger or like mid tier, say like you know those guys in the 100 to 250,000, 500,000, like anyone less than a mil, you know, or big creators above a mil? Or even small creators, like as I mentioned before, like for me, Jason Allen has been someone watching his stuff has made me go, you know, I really want to force myself to kind of just be more vulnerable, be willing to get myself out there a little bit more. You know, look, it doesn't matter what other people think. I need to just get myself out there. But would there be like someone you would consider in the small or medium or even large category that is a driving force for you personally to be like, I want to create like content like that individual?
Um, so I feed off of so many people that like I talk to on the normal.
Mm,
I still I I guess when it comes to like Rocket League, I do watch pros to learn what I need to learn and stuff
mm,
like that. But there's a guy by the name of Tenacity. He's pretty large. Tenacity TV. I've been paying attention to him. He's a big Rocket League creator, but honestly, I kind of keep it near home. I talk to you, and you share with me what you're implementing, and I
mm.
just I love it. You know what I'm saying? So that's always good to see, and it gets my juices flowing. I'm like, man, he's working on stuff. It's
Yeah.
dope to see. Like the concept that you came up with was awesome too. We talked about that. But you know, like Colberg 9 is somebody I'm
Mm,
really close with. Blue Satire, Bash the Stampede, All Hell Chill. I was just on his stream and he does chill drinks where we make a drink together and we just have a conversation. So our episode was me, him, and Vash because me and Vash are in Philadelphia together.
mm.
So it was the first time he had two guests making a drink. So I thought that was cool. Um, so yeah, so I kind of keep it home. But you know, when you need answers, you do go on YouTube and you look up how to do this, how to do that.
Mm,
Nobody I could really name specifically because it's always like me looking for the certain uh idea that I need to get done and
mm,
learn. But there's Chewy, he's a
mm,
Rocket League creator. GG is always coming up with something new and fun in his stream. Um Keith Perry is a dynamite when it comes to implementing new things. Like his subscriber alert and follower alert, it's always a movie in his stream. Like
mm,
it's amazing to see that. Like he whatever goes on in here for him to put that in his stream is top tier.
mm,
Uh there's a Dova. She has the whole
Mm,
um what is that name of that game? Skyrim.
yeah.
She has taken Skyrim and just made it hers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
the Elder Scrolls Online.
yeah, it's scary. It's scary.
See, I don't talk much in her chat just because like I know I'm gonna get pissed at all the creeps she gets. Like,
yeah, and she gets a lot,
I
doesn't
do
she?
talk in her husband's stream a bit when he does stream. Haven't got to see
Yeah,
him stream
yeah,
for a
he's
bit.
cool.
I love him. He's great.
He's cool.
He's
He's cool.
he's just a happy dude, you know.
Yeah,
And I was like, you can hear her talking shit in the back too, when he's being a dickhead. But no,
right.
it's like she is legitimately one of those people like yourself that honestly, you know, I know she's obviously managed to make it to partner level now,
Yeah.
for herself, and obviously I hope she continues to grow. But I remember even in the early days, when she was, you know, like she, let's be real, she hasn't necessarily struggled viewership wise, I think,
Mhm.
that much overall because she has such a great personality for streaming.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, but seeing how far her stream has evolved, you know, from the early days, you know, to being, you know, she went into that more kind of pixel arty sort of thing. And
Yeah.
she sort of
Yeah.
found that, and it's something you touched on earlier, that aesthetic sort of vibe. And this is something I touched on in my first episode. You wouldn't have got to see it because I've only recorded it yesterday, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do because that one we only did audio. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for a visual. So I might
Okay.
just put up a stupid meme and just let it sit there for 2 hours just to piss people off.
Right.
But in saying that, you know, what I said in that is finding an overall aesthetic for your stream, and like the best place to do it isn't necessarily having too much crap on your screen, right? A big problem a lot of people have is they have so much stuff on the screen when you're streaming that it's
Yeah.
really hard for the viewer to focus on anything. If
Right.
you're someone like me who gets very easily distracted by little movements, because I play StarCraft, I've got to watch a mini map in the bottom left corner while focusing on the main screen as well. So if I see one little red dot in that bottom left corner, at the corner of my eye, I instantly turn my head to it. So if I'm
Right.
watching here and I see one little thing move over here that I'm not used to, my head's just going to turn, and all of a sudden I'm not paying attention anymore. So I think there's been a bit of a move to the more minimalist style when it comes to streaming overall. But point being, in your description below, and you can, you know, share your experiences with kind of coming up with your style for what you have down there, and like how you want to phrase things, and you know, like what kind of sections you have, because everyone's different. I know I've
Yeah.
gone through many phases of having different aesthetics down there. I think at one point I had a Final Fantasy style thing. I've had a very pixel arty sort of thing. I think I might have even had a Kingdom Hearts style thing at one point, if I recall. I'm pretty sure I had a Doom style thing at one point, but that didn't last very long because it just didn't look good. And then I have now a guitar-based theme that I got art done by a friend because, you know, for a long time all I did was stream guitar stuff because I just didn't want to play games.
Right.
You know, because everyone, you know, we all go through those phases. But when it came to deciding on your aesthetic for below, because you've got this very red black kind of color scheme going,
Yeah.
what made you kind of come up with that?
So red and black is actually my high school colors.
Ah,
It's been a weird like transition. Like, I started off with red and black, right? And
mm,
then I had this logo of this bear. But it looks like a onesie type of deal.
mm,
So what some people may not know is that the bear, because there's eyes inside of the mouth, is actually me wearing the onesie.
mm,
But I'm covering up my whole being, because when people meet me, they say, "Oh, you're super intimidating. You're super intimidating." But after that, they'd be like, "Once I got to know you, you're as cuddly as a teddy bear." So
yeah,
that's why it's a bear, and I'm inside. So I went through that transition of being that bear inside, because I knew people were gonna, some people are gonna like you, some people aren't. Some people are gonna take you seriously, some people aren't. So then I started wearing the Akatsuki robe,
mm,
because I put the whole world, the weight of the world on my shoulders, like Itachi did in the anime,
mm,
and he made that decision to, kill his clan. So then I got to a place where I didn't need to do that anymore. I took on the emotions of other people. I took on the problems of other people, and I didn't need to do that anymore. because the one thing that I forgot about was me. I forgot about my emotions and the things that I was going through. That's why I'm a big advocate of self-love, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. So then I took the robe off, and what I thought about instantly all the favorite cartoons that I grew up watching. So now when you look at like my panels and stuff now, you see me wearing the Rocco's Modern Life shirt, or me wearing the Doug Funny shirt, or me in the Reptar suit, and just highlighting some of the favorite cartoons, all real monsters. I have a helmet on, for rocket power. And I'm wearing the Hey Arnold mini hat with his shirt, stuff like that. So but now instead of just highlighting like my favorite cartoons, now with the name change, because it fits with Nickelodeon and it being my favorite broadcasting network of all time, because that's what I grew up on, I can be GlintyTV and highlight some of my favorite movies. That's why I have a Channel Point Redemption where I get Avada Kedavra from, Voldemort casting a spell on me and stuff like that, because I remember going to the premieres of those movies when I was a teenager, or talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and how he relates the pump of his bicep to coming and stuff like that.
It's like sleeping with a woman and coming.
Exactly. So
I haven't watched Pumping Iron way too many times.
I love that film. I love it. So you get me. You get fully me being this fitness involved, self-care, self-growth, reading books and taking protein, and being a fan of Marvel and being at those movies and being a part of the PlayStation 2 and then the Xbox and Switch. And I need, I have the retro stuff behind me. So this has been me all this time. Like it's in the journey, starting with the Nintendo and then getting to the PS5, So
we're starting off in the small days, moving it all the way.
Right. Right. So I have to have that respect for where I came from, because I'm never going to forget, So journey.
You've mentioned cartoons that you love and things like that, and you did bring up Naruto very quickly there. So I know anime has played a bit of a part in your life as well. Now, I can't speak for anime because I'm not a huge watcher personally. I don't mind reading manga because I like comic books. I like manga. I like reading more than I like watching, just because I can sort of zone out, relax a little bit, and I don't have to think. In manga, you got pretty pictures, so it's pretty easy to digest. But I wanted to ask kind of two questions. And this is something kind of more for my own personal curiosity on one of these questions. Because, coming from Australia, and this is a very ignorant question, so I do apologize. But, typically, you get the way the media portrays people of color. And it's, it's very biased and full of shit. But in saying that, growing up, were you a fan of anime? And, how would you say you felt with those around you? Like, did you feel judged or did you feel accepted for enjoying it?
So, another great question, man. You're literally, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all better pay attention, because when this blows up and you're like, oh, how did he get here? Oh, he's acting so different. He's really not. So I hope you guys are watching and paying attention to this, because these questions are gold. Like, celebrities dream of questions like this. Like that's such a good question. So Dragon Ball Z, first anime. Didn't even know it was an anime. Didn't even know it was an anime.
I still don't classify it as one. I still call it a cartoon. I don't care what any motherfucker says. I will fight them.
And you don't know. You don't like. I didn't know that. What was the other one? There was another. I didn't know it was an anime. I didn't know. So Dragon Ball Z was my introduction to Nami as a preteen, like 13, I think, maybe, I can't remember, but yeah. And then because of how amazing that was to see, I was hooked. and then I got introduced to like Gundam Wing, and I thought that like I just started rewatching Gundam Wing, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. So who was Sailor Moon? She's another one that was a part of that rotation. So isn't Astro Boy considered an anime?
Yeah,
To
Astro
some
Boy
extent?
is like legitimately in my top 5. I
See,
fucking adore Astro Boy.
I never watched it, but you just don't know because like I was in America, so you thought America came up with it, and that's just not the case, right? So looking at like me now, like having Naruto as my favorite anime. Only reason I got to watch Naruto is because my friend was burning them to a DVD. He would watch how many episodes he put on the DVD, and then he would give it to me to watch. And then he taught me how to burn the episodes from my computer. That laptop is somewhere in the bottom of the ocean because it's corrupted. It's no good. I don't. It was a Dell. That was my first laptop. I don't even know where that laptop is, but you think Dragon Ball Z is the best because that's all you have. But when you get immersed in this world of anime, there are so many more way better fight scenes and dialogue and stories. Not to take anything from Dragon Ball Z, because it's still what got me here.
It's still in my top 3. Like I've actually just started watching through Dragon Ball, and then I'm doing Z, and then finally watching through Super completely.
I need to watch GT. GT is kind of boring to me.
It's a bit rough.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's really slow for like 75%, and the last 25% is like, this is the best shit. Once they start getting Super Saiyan 4 and all that crap, it's like, that's what I want. But the rest of it can just fuck off. Like,
and then Dragon Ball has a beautiful story. It's like it's so dope. So yeah, so that's where I got my intro to anime, right? And then like people call you a weirdo for watching anime. And I'm like, Dragon Ball Z gets more love because most people in America think it's an American cartoon. But you get looked at funny, you get talked about. Even as an adult. Like I remember working at this medical testing facility, and the female that I haven't talked to her in a while. We still follow each other on social media, but she associated anime with hentai. I was just like, she's not wrong. For sure. She's not wrong, but she was like, "Wait, what are you watching? Are you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
She needs to...
right. So the association is correct, but I was just like,
it's only correct if you're a man of culture, as they like to put it.
So yeah, that's what she did, which was like, it was so far-fetched. I'm enjoying this great story of Naruto, and you talk about you and Pokemon. Boom, that's the other one. Dragon Ball. I didn't even know Pokemon was an anime. I had no idea. I could have sworn it was just a regular cartoon. I was so freaking wrong.
I didn't even know the show was a thing. Like I got the card game first, then I got the game on Game Boy, then I started watching the TV show, and I'm like,
bro, I had no idea, bro. I had no idea. So, as a matter of fact, I need to stop knocking myself because I just had no idea, and look how much more I'm immersed now. So, you definitely get judged and talked about. Like, so. And that's why I said this is such a good question. So before I came home, so we can sit down and have this great conversation, there are two females that they're at my mom's house right now. My mom lives 5 minutes away, but we pretty much call each other cousins because their actual aunt, we met in church, and my sister was a little kid, and my sister she calls her mom. She passed away not too long ago, but that's how connected we are.
Yeah.
We just had a conversation because they were trying to find out what Twitch is and what stuff is, because I'm going to DreamCon next month. And the RDC world is big with anime and gaming. She was like, you're still in anime? Mind you, I haven't seen this female in years. She was like, you're still in the anime? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I am. What am I supposed to be in?
Like, I love anime. Who the hell gets over anime titties? Like, come on.
Exactly.
Like, we're here for the plot. That's the only reason. So
Hentai.
now you mentioned Naruto's number one. Do you have like anything else that you would consider in that kind of upper echelon as like this is my go-to kind of comfort sort of show?
Okay. Okay. So it's only and that's another thing. I'm glad I don't care how good the other anime is. I love Naruto. I don't care. That's my other controversy.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting there. I'm learning about all the ones that I need to. But it's not it's a lot of anime out here, you
Oh
know?
yeah, there's so much.
Here, I'm about to tell you right now. Oh, Naruto, you know, is number one.
Yeah.
But Black Clover, and I believe we've talked about Black Clover.
Mhm.
I love it. Love Black Clover. That's a dope, super, super good. And you know, it's the underdog story. It's the underdog story. It is what it is. I'm getting into Demon Slayer because my baby girl, she wants to watch that together. One Piece, I think that's dope, but that's another underdog. You know, that's what their stories are based on. Oh, another controversy. Listen, Attack on Titan is too adult for me. It's too adult for me. I can't keep up with it because it bores me in the first few episodes. So I'm gonna watch it because I know how great it is, but the first season is boring. My Hero up there. I love My Hero. I think that's an amazing story. Group of amazing characters, but again, another underdog story. I guess I have a thing for underdogs. Except for my man's One Punch Man.
Yeah.
He's a goat. He's a goat.
That shit's just too funny. It's just too funny. I think because how different it is for what we've had as the status quo in the scene.
Facts.
And I'm like I'm not, as I said, I'm not much of an anime watcher myself, but like I can't help but watch that show. It's so fucking good. You know, like just having that difference. Like, why do I like Dragon Ball Z? Well, Goku's, you know, it's like, oh, he becomes the strongest. Yeah, in the end, but he has to get there. And that's half the fun, you know. Same with Naruto. Now, I've only watched through Naruto once, right?
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan, but as I said, like, I'm not huge into watching anime. I'm more of a manga type of guy. I prefer to read rather than watch.
I truly respect it, and I'm gonna tell you, I didn't grow up with comic books. My mom didn't buy them. I think I was like a teenager when I got my first one, and it was a Punisher, and it was good, but I struggle with that art style with the boxes in the. Sometimes I don't know where to start.
Yeah,
and then with manga, it's backwards.
Yeah,
and it turned me off, and I was like, well, I don't know how to read regular comic books, so I'm about to, but I do have a couple that I'm trying to like, you know, because I'm all about learning, so I don't cast it out. I just catch up when I catch up, you know.
Now I know you mentioned some very briefly that you are watching like My Hero and Demon Slayer, but have you got anything else that's relatively new that you've been watching through?
Parasite I think it's old, but it's new for me.
I haven't watched it, but I've only ever heard insanely good things about it.
Yeah, it's really, really good, and it's you would think like there's this parasite on some guy and fighting other parasites to a degree.
Yeah, and
it's just really good. It's really good. So that's new to me. So I like I told you, I am rewatching Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, but there are so many different Gundam Wing anime that there's Mobile Suit Gundam that I started, Boruto, the continuation from Naruto, can't forget that, Dragon Ball Super, we didn't talk about, you talked about Super, I'm watching that. Bleach, I never watched Bleach, so that's new to me, and another one that's like boring in the first 5 episodes, but it picks up. So those are my rotation right now. I need to sit down and watch some more. But I need to, like, I try to watch with my kids because they're not at the subtitle level yet.
Yeah.
So we have to watch on other platforms. So that's what, like, I just take some time with them and watch Demon Slayer. My daughter wants to watch that, and they're big fans of My Hero, Todoroki. That's all I hear from them. Like, the hell? How do you know about this? Totally.
All right. Now we can get a little more controversial yet again. Who is your
Okay.
number one waifu?
Hinata.
Good man. Good man.
Hinata. She's just she's just from where I've just watched her grow, and she's
Yeah.
just
Fun
and
fact.
she definitely has anime titty.
Not in Boruto, she don't. They nerfed the shit out of her. But shout out to Pixel Sean, who once said while I was playing Final Fantasy 14 on stream, this game sounds like hentai. I'm like, oh, you want hentai? And I played Naruto hentai on stream for him just to fuck with him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not the first time I've done it, and it won't be the last. Twitch, come catch me. You'll never get me. I've been doing this shit for years. It's like the 15th time I've shown porn on stream. Try me.
That is funny.
It's not really the 15th. I think I've done it like 5-6 times though.
Yeah, I got you.
I do it just often enough that like it's like, okay, it's an inside joke everyone knows, but I don't do it so often that I'm gonna get caught. The last time I did it, I don't know if you remember the story of the Italian government getting hacked during a Zoom call, and the guy played Tifa hentai.
Oh wow!
During like an official government call, and basically Twitter and like Reddit and all that shit just went off the wall making memes.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
So someone redid. You know the Pizza Time theme from Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yeah, so that someone remade the entire track using the MIDI effects of Final Fantasy VII. So I took that entire track and then found the video that got played and put that to the video and just let that play on stream for a good 20 minutes. It was so fucking fun because like you don't see anything in the actual video, to be honest.
Right.
Like you see a butt crack, but it's like, eh. You know, I mean, you see worse than half the games you're allowed to play.
Right.
So like Twitch, come at me, try me. You know.
Thanks.
But yeah, so that's kind of all the questions I've really got. But is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we wrap up?
Anything that I want to touch up? No, not really. Just listen. This is amazing. I cannot wait to see who else you asked to be here, to be a part of this because the questions are phenomenal.
I got a few people. I've got Snaps is down for doing it. I really want to get into talking about.
Oh, that's going to be a crazy. Oh,
it's basically going to be me and him going Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VIII are the best games ever made, and all of you are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And this is why, because me and him, like me and Snow, were joking that me and him are like the exact same person, just in different areas. Like he lives at the top of Australia, I live down the bottom, but we both love the same things, and he still hates me whenever I bring up Tetris because he was playing Tetris on his stream. He challenged me to one-on-one because I'd been playing Tetris. On his stream, I went in and beat him 3 games in a row. And he was just get the fuck out of here. He was so salty. He gets so competitive.
Yeah. And that's why he won't play Rocket League anymore. And Mario Kart. Mario Kart is our thing. And but yeah, you guys are the reason I have been looking for freaking RPGs because I don't like the stand still and press the button. I always like moving around. So that's the reason I'm playing Kingdom Hearts again. After Kingdom Hearts, I'm gonna do the remake Final Fantasy VII, and then there's one on Switch that I have. It is Xenoblade.
Xenoblade.
I'm gonna try Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, I will tell you, I have only played a little bit because a friend has it, but that is one of the most time-consuming games ever made, but in a good way. Like it's not fast-paced at all, but it's one of those sort of games you sort of play without thinking. Because it's never so hectic you can't do anything like a God of War on the PS2 or something like that, where it's like, I need to focus on every little button press that I do. But speaking of games like that, actually a video I just released in the last 24 hours of us recording this. Did you ever play Ni no Kuni?
I have it. I've never played it.
Highly recommend. So I recommend playing it. It's very like if you know the Studio Ghibli movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want a game that looks like a Studio Ghibli movie, that's the game.
Yep.
They actually have a free-to-play MMO they just released on PC.
I saw Snap playing that. Yep.
Yeah, it's not perfect so far. Like it's got its bugs, it's in beta. But so far I've been playing it and it's the only game that's pulled me away from StarCraft and Diablo 2
Ooh,
in the last month. Um
really?
yeah, because like I've been playing a shitload of Diablo 2 because I bought the remaster and I'm like, I shouldn't have done it. Because like I've put like 2,000 hours plus into StarCraft, and then I've got somewhere in the realm of like 1,000 to 1,500 hours, like somewhere in that kind of range on Diablo 3, and now I've put like another 100 something hours into Diablo 2. I'm like, I'm just losing my life to these games again. Um, so like to have something that's like, you know what, I really want to play, you know, because I just did a first impressions video, a
Yeah.
little bit different to my usual style of video where it's kind of like more retrospective after I finish the game, because I find that more interesting. Or doing, you know, a let's play, but it's usually let's plays of games that I've already actually played, so I can sit there and talk about what's coming up and things like
Right.
that. Or doing challenge videos, which is the other main thing I've been doing, because like I've been doing the grind on Kingdom Hearts to level 100 again on the first island,
Okay.
which I was doing a long time ago, but that challenge, right, just to kind of explain how that went. So I started on the PS3 version of Kingdom Hearts. My capture card that could capture the PS3, because if you don't know, the HDMI signal doesn't capture properly. So you have to
Okay.
use S video. So the capture card I had broke. And it was either buy a new one of those capture cards, or which would have cost like $150, or
Right.
spend $20 and get it on PS4. So I was like, oh, I'll spend $20, get it on PS4. Now at that point, I'd already put 30 hours into the grind. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I haven't lost that much time. Like it's a lot, but not that much, right?
It is.
And then on the PS4, I put in 110-ish hours into the grind, got all the
Mhm.
way to level 62, and then unfortunately, because I'm a casual worker, so I don't necessarily have guaranteed hours. Now, my current boss, I basically get called every single fucking day. They've actually learned at the moment, please do not, like, I told them, I'm like, stop calling me every day. They're like, why? I'm like, because otherwise I wouldn't have had a day off in 3 months and I would have stabbed somebody. I do not have the patience for this shit. Don't get me wrong, I want to work, but I want to work in
Right.
moderation. I'm not doing
Right.
anything stupid because we had a COVID outbreak that hit all of our stores. I was very fortunate I didn't get it, but we were missing 95% of our staff. So I'd have to do morning recovery shifts, so like clean the whole supermarket by myself from
Sorry.
5 a.m. through to like 8 to 10 a.m. You get everything done, then go home, sleep for 2-3 hours, get up, do a closed shift at another store, go home, sleep for 2-3 hours, get up and do it again the next day. And I was so fucking exhausted. And this was 2 weeks straight without a day off. And by the end of it, because I've got a bad back, I was in so much tears for the amount of pain I was in. I went to them, I'm like, do not fucking call me. And they're like,
Right.
oh, but we're desperate. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I need at least give me 4 days off now. They're like, okay. So they gave me 4 days off. And they're like, okay, we're going to ease you back in. I'm like, cool. You know, just like 3 to 5 hour shifts. No worries. First day back, 3 hour shift. No worries. Everything's great. Next day, oh, this person's had COVID. Can you know, maybe do like a 6-7 hour shift? I'm like, you know, I'm feeling okay. I'll do it.
Right.
That 6-7 hour shift turned into a 14-hour shift. And
Oh.
I'm taking 5 days off. They're like, fair enough. Come back
Right.
after 5 days. Oh yeah, we need you to do another 13-hour shift. I'm like, I'm not coming in for 3 weeks. They're like, what? I'm like, I am taking time off. Kiss my ass. And they're like, okay. So I just took 3 weeks off.
Hey.
But yeah, because I took so much time off during that period, because I had my body breakdown, body kind of got better, then mentally I was just so drained. I could not get myself going. I was going through a really bad depressive period then. And then I missed a further 3 weeks. And like the thing is, like, yes, in Australia we do have what we call Centrelink or welfare, and our welfare payment is, like, for me personally at the moment, it wasn't as high then because it did get a raise not long ago, but at the moment it's about $800 a fortnight, and that's including rent assistance, bills, and medical assistance. Although the medical assistance, like, oh, here's $5. It's like, oh, you need $30 of medication a week? Fuck you. Even though at a certain point, at least here it's capped. It's not nowhere near as bad as what you guys have to deal with. But if even we're struggling, that shows you how bad the state of the world is.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
we so I'd had enough just to pay rent. I was basically living off rice, beans, and tuna every day, which probably a lot better than the shit I was eating for the most part. To be fair,
Uh,
so I broke down, but I had so much time off. I'm like, oh, I need money. I can't afford. I'm falling behind on rent. My landlord's
right,
cool, but there's only so much they can allow before it's like, okay, that's a little much. I'm like, if I was in their position, I understand, right?
right.
So I had to sell my PS4, and it's taken me the better part of a year and a half to start the challenge again because I lost
Gotcha.
overall 140 hours of the grind, which, if
Right.
you put it all together, is about halfway.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
It's
lot.
it's
And
about
at halfway. That's a lot.
yeah, it's about
A
280
lot.
to 300 hours to do it. So I've only put in about, pardon me, 5-6 hours so far. I'm doing it
Yeah.
incredibly slow at the moment because the way I'm doing it now is all the raw footage will go up as an unlisted video, and then the rest will be just edited down, for the level up, and just me kind of essentially like this, just having a bit of a chat, but just me to the audience about any and everything, if people want to
Yeah.
throw their comments down below and stuff like that. But anyway, that's
Right.
enough about me. I think we should wrap up. I think it's a good time to do it. We're just about to hit the 2 hour mark. We're not too far off it. I think that's
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable. Now, before we do go, just where can everyone find you again?
Twitch.tv/GlintyTV, GlintyTV on YouTube, GlintFitTV everywhere. Yeah, I'm just all over the place.
Yep.
GlintyTV everywhere on all socials. GlintFitTV on everywhere on all socials.
And we'll have links to everything down below. Is there anyone you wanted to shout out while we're here? I know we did.
Who
We
did I shout
basically
out?
did shout out everyone
We did.
pretty
We
much
did.
through
Queen
it. But
Star. Make sure y'all go show her some love.
yep.
She's amazing. We talked about Colbert. We talked about All Hell Chill. Chief Perry. Y'all better be following Karlec. He's like, this was amazing. I had such a great time. Grandpa Gamer. Swam it up. He's a dope person. Samurai Jack, another dope family member. So go follow everybody, man. But most importantly, make sure you follow the man that asked all the questions. It's not easy to come up with questions like that. And he did his research. He knows me pretty well, but he still did his research. Like that was, I wasn't expecting some of the questions,
Yeah.
okay, but because of our history, but a lot of the questions, he well thought out, well planned. That was really cool. So make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go follow him on Twitch. Guitarist, teacher. He knows what he's doing, and he's sharing it with you. So make sure you go follow my guy here. And there's going to be more to come. I'm super excited about this series. I can't wait to watch. So.
And if you guys want to see more of Glint on this, like just us having another chat, let me know. We can definitely make it happen. Obviously, time zones do make things a little bit difficult. It is currently 4:50 a.m. on Sunday here for me. Now, I am more than happy to stay up stupidly late because I do it most of the time anyway. I obviously look like I've been hit by a fucking truck in the face, but I actually don't feel that tired yet. But as soon as I stop this call and I turn off that ring light, my eyes are going to go, nope, bedtime. However, if you do, as I was saying, if you do want to see more, if you'd love to have him come back and have us discuss other things or talk more about where things are at, I'd love to do a check-in at, maybe in a few months from now and see how things have been going. We might do it on my channel. We might even throw it over on his, because I do want to help him push his YouTube content. Because you've got currently kind of like you're starting out as a beginner in Rocket League, what it's like, and then kind of progressing up sort of thing series that you've just started, which I watched the first episode.
POC content. There's not enough black representation in Rocket League, so who else but a student to the game like me to start, because people want to know how to play. This is a predominantly white played game.
Esports in general, like it's very I don't want it to sound racist because I don't think it will, but I know someone out there might take it the wrong way, but it's predominantly white Caucasian people and Asians, right? Like a
Right,
lot of
clean,
Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan. And I'm saying this from someone who loves StarCraft. The Korean scene is the greatest thing in the world to me. I used to stay up till this time watching tournaments and everything. But we do not have a lot of representation for women. We do not have a lot of representation for people of color. We do not have it for, trans, for gay, lesbians, or
right.
however you want to
We're
identify.
not talking shit or talking trash. We
No,
just
we
spitting
want
facts.
we want
We're speaking
more
facts.
people involved in this sort of stuff. You know,
Shout out to Evample, one of the dopest Australian Rocket Leaguers I know. Though I
Mm.
don't know him, but I watch his shit, man. He's fire. By the way, he is sick. His freestyle game is unmatched. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, we're not talking trash. We just talking about what we want to see. That's it.
Like, we're not saying
If
we
you get
want
offended,
less. We don't want less of what we already
comment.
have. We want more of everything,
Right.
Diversity is a gift.
Right.
Just to quote one of my favorite bands at the moment, Bloodywood, which is an Indian metal band that mix Indian folk music with like death metal and stuff. It's
Okay.
it's a very strange genre, but they have a song called I think it's Ari Ari Ari, which is a song about the power of diversity and coming together as one people and putting your differences aside, because the differences, they're skin deep. Who cares? You know. And I know for me personally, it's a big argument I've had over the years with some people, and I know I have said things as a teenager. We all do that. I regret saying. I'm never going to shy away from it. I don't say that shit now because I understand. To me now, I look at it and I go, so what if someone's skin color is different? What the fuck's different about that? Like,
Right.
I could get a tan and I look completely different to what I did before. But guess what? It doesn't change who I am. The person inside is still a person inside. No one is lesser because of, what junk they have or what color their skin is, or, just because they think a certain way that you don't like. If you give each other respect, we can come together and solve a lot of these problems.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, you were taught that shit anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't wake up and felt the way you felt. You were taught that shit.
Yeah.
So just like somebody could teach you how to hate, they could teach you how to love. You just have to be open to conversation.
Yeah.
Be respectful, be open to conversation, and true change can happen. It has happened. This ain't new.
We've definitely we're starting. I think, at least especially in the gaming space, things are changing. And I know there are people out there who are like, oh, it shouldn't have to change. It's like, well, it does, because clearly there's an issue. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to have these conversations. Sorry to get a little preachy at the end there, everyone, but fuck you, be good people. It's not that hard.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. We love your faces, and please, for the love of God, support Clint. Support everyone you can. Spread positivity. Like, share in his message, because his message is great. Don't share in my message, because my message is get fucked and leave me alone. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, it's a message. Bye.